Now, I request Srimati Tejaswini MP, Lecturer in Computer Science and Engineering Department, JSS Polytechnic, Mysuru, to take over. Over to you, madam.
Good morning to all. Welcome to the third day session 1, in which we are going to start with Excel. So in the previous session, we had discussed 10 programs. Today we are going to discuss with remaining 4 Excel programs. So we'll start now. So you know, in the previous class only we have told that how to go to Excel, Microsoft Excel. So here again I am starting now. Start with Start button. Go to Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Office 2013. There you have to select Microsoft Excel 2013. So this is the Excel sheet. So this is going to be the spreadsheet on which we are going to perform the programs. So you have this is the sheet. So you know that these are the menus which are going to help us to perform different tasks. So by default, you will be having a home menu. Most important menu that we require here is data, in which you should have data analysis tool. So I'll just again illustrate you. If you don't have data analysis tool, how to install that or enable it. To enable it, you have to go for file. In the file, you have to go to option. In that, you have to click on add in. Here, if it is enabled, it will come at the active application add-in. If it is not enabled, then it will be present in inactive application add-in. Click on that and say go. So here you will get the toolbox. Here you have to enable the analysis toolbox and say OK. Your data analysis will be installed. So this is the most important thing to perform all 14 programs as per the syllabus that has been given. So this data analysis toolbar should be enabled. Now I am going to start with the 10th program of the as per the syllabus. The 10th program is to draw frequency polygon and frequency curve for the data collected from 50 people. So they have given the example that marks obtained by the students in your class in 5 subjects in previous examination. So they have specified it what is the exam that we have to take it. So based on that, you have to take 50 peoples as a data set. But now I'm not going to take 50. I'm just doing for 15. You can update it for 50. The equation or the steps what we are going to do will be same for 50 data or for 15 data, or it may be for 100 data also. The first thing is, what is frequency polygon is? It is nothing but a plot of the cumulative frequency against the upper class boundary with the points joined by line segment. So at the points, end points, we are going to join it and represent it in a frequency polygon form. And frequency curve is nothing but a cumulative frequency distribution of group data on a graph is going to be called as a cumulative frequency curve. In this program, they have asked you to draw both frequency polygon as well as frequency curve. So the first step what you're going to do here is, first you have to create the data set. So the data set example they have taken is, you have to take a student details with 5 subjects. For 5 subjects, you have to represent the frequency polygon as well as frequency curve. So first step is you have to create the data set. So you know that this is the cell. So the cell name has been seen here. We have told that these are the columns and these are the rows. So if I want to identify the cell, we are going to start with column name followed by class row name. So if I'm going to say that this cell is C5, that is at the column C and the row 5. So this is the identification. So in this way, we'll start the first step of creating the data set. So I'm going to first type the name of the student. Okay. Randomly, I'm typing as student 1, student 2, student 1, student 2, and I'm typing till 20. Okay. So if I want to display this name in center, go to home, click on center. The names are going to be displayed in center. So if you want to highlight the heading, click on the heading, go to B, that is bold, which is going to make it as bold. And it makes a difference that this is the values and this is the heading. So next one, we have to take 5 subjects. So I'm taking subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, and subject 5. Instead of writing sub 1, sub 2, sub 3, you can write the subject name only, like math, science, CEEE, like that also you can write it. For my convenience, I have written it as sub 1, sub 2, sub 3, sub 4. So I made it as bold and center. So now I'll enter the values for these 5 subjects. So for 100, how much he has been scored? I'm typing the 4th subject, maths. Randomly, I'm typing the values. And lastly, we'll enter the subject. Fine. So this is the data set that has been created to draw the frequency polygon and frequency curve. To draw the frequency polygon and frequency curve, the second step is we have to create the upper limit and frequency, and cumulative frequency has to be created. So first I have to create the frequency. Now to create the frequency, I require the class interval. So to create the class interval for each subject, I have to write the class interval here. As I know the class to create the class interval, the minimum and maximum, I already know that, because in the marks, the minimum will be 0 and maximum will be 100. So based on that, I'm going to start the class interval now. So 0 to 20, first 21 to 40, second class interval, 41 to 60, third, 61 to 80, fourth, 81 to 900, this is the fifth class interval. So this is the class interval for all the 5 subjects. Okay, so the bin or upper limit for all this will be common. So it is 20, so upper limit, or you can call it as bin. It will be common for all the 5 subjects. So that is 20, 40, 40, 60, 80. So if you drag it also, you will get that updation value. So this is the upper limit. Now I have created the class interval for the 5 subjects and upper limit for this 5 subjects. Now I have to create the frequency and cumulative frequency to draw the polygon and curve. So to do that, I'll go for the data analysis and draw the histogram. So I'll click on data analysis, click on, go to data menu. In the data menu, go to the data analysis. In the data analysis, go to the histogram and say OK. Here you have to select the data range. For individual subject, you have to create different histograms. So first, I'll select the first subject as the input. So input range, I have taken subject 1 from first value to the last value. Next, bin range, for all the 5 subjects it is common. So I'll select this upper limit from 20 to 100. Next, the output range. So I'll select the output range next to here and say I want the cumulative percentage also. So I'm clicking cumulative percentage, but I don't want the chart because I want to draw frequency polygon and curve. So I'm disabling the chart output. I'm just enabling the cumulative percentage now. And I'll say OK. Selecting the first subject as the input. Bin value is nothing but upper limit. Output is the next column. Then I am selecting it, asking to cumulative. Okay. So you got this. So bin value, frequency, and cumulative percentage. This is for first subject. So I'll block this. All the 3 cells, I'm blocking it. I'll go for this and say merge and center and say it for subject 1. Sub 1. So this is the frequency cumulative for subject 1. Same way I have to create for subject 2, subject 3, subject 4 and subject 5. So one by one down I can place it, or next to next I can place it. So I'll come for the second subject now. I'll go for again data analysis, histogram. Okay. Input range will be from subject to, I'll select the first value till end. Next, bin range is same, that is 20 to 100, and the location I'll change it. I'll change the location for O. So I'll say OK, and then I'll say OK. So second subject has been created here. I'll merge it. Home, merge in, and here I'll write subject 2. Same way I'm creating for third subject now. Data analysis, histogram. Okay. Select the input range, that is subject 1. You can press shift, control and down arrow. The complete set will be selected and say OK. And output range, I am going to select it to the, I'll draw it in below and say OK. So third subject has been here. Home, merge center, subject 3. Now for fourth subject, same steps I have to follow. Data analysis, histogram. Okay. In the input range, I have to change, that's all. Input range is subject 4. And the output range, I have to select the next column here. Okay. And say OK. So this is the fourth subject. Home, merge center, subject 4. And now I'll do the same step for fifth one. Data analysis. Okay. I'll change the input range now for subject 5. And output range, I'll click here. And say OK. So the output range is here of fifth one. Insert. Set home, merge center, subject 5. So this is the 5 subjects, frequency and cumulative percentage. Based on this frequency and cumulative percentage, now I am going to draw the frequency polygon and frequency curve. First, I am going to draw the frequency polygon. To draw for 5 subjects, I am selecting the frequency value. So I am clicking on the frequency of first subject. I am selecting this. After this, press Ctrl, select the second one, second subject's frequency. Don't leave the Control key. Press the third subject frequency. Next, fourth subject frequency and fifth subject frequency. You have to select all the 5 subject frequency. After that, go to the insert. In the insert button, click on line. Here you select on this. So this is the polygon representation. But here what happens is, if you see, it will not start from 0. So it is not touching the boundary. So to close it, what we are going to do here is, we'll add some 0 value at the beginning and 100% value at the, again 0 at the bottom. So I'll delete this chat. I'll add one field here. Just click on this and move one step down. So here you can add it as 0 for both 1. Here also, just select that table, go to the end, you will get one arrow mark like this. Click on it, move one step down. So here you enter again 0. In the bottom you have 0 also. So here also you can move one step down. Enter, because we have to have a complete closing of that curve. Zero, 0. Go to here. Just you will have this plus mark with arrow mark. You click on that. Just move one cell down. That's all. 0, 0. So I have started with 0 now. So again, I'll select the frequency from 0.0. Control second subject till 0. Third subject till 0. Fourth 0. And fifth one 0. Then I'll go for the insert line. Here I am selecting this. You can see now the complete polygon has been represented here. Okay, so this is the polygon, frequency polygon for the first data set, all the subjects, 5 subjects. So I'm placing it down. So here you can see that frequency polygon. I'll change the heading now. I'll make it as frequency polygon. Polygon for 5 subjects. Okay, so here you're getting the numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, I can represent the bin value. So I can represent this bin value there. To represent this bin value, what I'm going to do is, I click on this horizontal axis, right click on it, go for select data. You will get this option. Here you can go for edit. In this, select axis label for that range it is asking. Click on this. Since it is common for all, I'll select one range here and say okay. And then okay, you can see here you got the values 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So these 2 points are nothing but 0. If you want to know the values of here, you can represent that values. So you can go for this chart here. There are a number of ways of representing it. Whichever way you like, you can click on that. If you want in this way, this is the presentation of the chart. So which one you like is more attractive, you can select that one. So here with the marks it is representing, that is in frequency marks. So which is convenient for you, you can enter it. Okay. So I'm selecting this one now. Here, series 1, series 2, it is giving. You want to write that as subject 1, click on it. Click on format data series. So, click on this labels. Okay. If you want to have access title, you can click on access title. Both sides the access title will appear. Okay. So select data here, click on series 1, edit, and type the name as sub 1. Okay. Series 2, edit, write it as sub 2. Okay. Next series 3, edit, sub 4. Okay. Next 4, sub 3. Sorry, I missed it. So you can see here. Okay, then you click on OK. So you can see here. So blue mark is for subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, and subject 5. So this is how we are going to draw the frequency polygon. Now, if you want to write the frequency curve, we have to take the next option, that is okay. So now we are going for second step, that is frequency curve. So to have the frequency curve, our next step is we have to take the cumulative value. So now I'm going to, as I have taken the frequency value to draw the frequency polygon, now I will take the frequency, cumulative frequency value to draw the curve. So select this for first subject, control, second subject, control, third subject, control, fourth subject, and control, fifth subject. Don't leave the control key, just select all the 5 subjects. After selecting all the 5 subjects, go to insert. In that, here you will be having one insert scatter. You click on that. Here you will be having options for that. So here a smooth scatter is the rough one, straight line, but we want smooth curve. So I'm clicking on this smooth line. So click on it, you'll get the curve for this. So this is the frequency curve for this particular data. So select this. I'll drag it down. So here I am placing it next to this frequency polygon chart. I'll change the title here. Frequency curve for 5 subjects. So here also it is taken in the form of percentage. So in the percentage form, it is displaying the values. Okay, so here again you can represent this. Series 1 can be renamed with the subject names. So click on that, say select, series 1, edit, subject 1, edit, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. So this is the representation of frequency curve. So this is the exercise or a program of 10, which has been asked you to draw the frequency polygon and frequency curve. Now I have drawn it for 20 students. The same thing can be updated for 50 students. So only thing is while creating the data set, that is this table, you enter 50 data instead of 20 data. And same functionalities what we have shown here to create it, the same functionality you can use it, and you can draw frequency polygon and frequency curve. Here also you can select this. You will be having different representation of it. Whichever is convenient for you, you can select that. Okay. If you want to have labels to be displayed, so when you're going to click here in the plus mark, you will have this. You can say if you want access title, that is title for the x-axis and y-axis, you can enable it and type it. Data labels you want, you click on data labels. If you don't want grid lines, remove the grid lines. Legend, if you don't want, remove it. If you want, you can include it. Okay. So if you don't want, remove it. Okay. So this is the representation of the frequency curve and frequency polygon for 5 subjects. Okay. I hope you are clear with this. In this, I'll go for the next program now. Okay. So the next program that we are going to start is 15th program. The 15th program is asking you to determine, 16th program. The 16th program is asking you to determine the standard deviation for both the values. That is, we have to collect the data of any 2 livestock populations from 50 different houses in the locality. And they have also told you to take any other values also as per your requirement. So for this second one, I have taken again the subject marks only. For that subject marks, I am going to calculate the standard deviation. If you want to take 2 livestock population only, you can take that also. Otherwise, you can go for this. Before going this, I'll again save this particular file now. I'll say File, Save, go to Computer Location, F drive. So here, if you have created the folder, click on that folder, or if you want to create a new folder, click on New Folder, rename it. So here you will get the option for renaming. You can say Lab Cycle folder. Click on it, double click. It will open Lab Cycle here. Here you can save the file name. By default, it will start with book 1, book 2, book 3, like that. It will be saving it. Whichever name you want to save, you can save it. So I'm giving it as program number 10 and save this file. So this is how you're going to save the Excel file programs. So now I am going to start with the 16th program to find out to determine the standard deviation for a given set of data. So for given set of data, here instead of 2 livestock population, I am taking general, that is subject marks. Or if you want 2 livestock population also, you can take that. So I'll close this first program now. Minimize it. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going with the second next program, that is to determine the standard deviation by taking 2 different set of values, data set values. So I'll go for Excel. So directly also I can go for Excel by clicking right click, new, create a shortcut key for that. Here you will get Microsoft Excel worksheet. Click on it. A new sheet is going to be open for you. Okay. So here we'll start now with the second set of program. Here I am taking same as student list marks for 2 subjects here. And I'm going to calculate the standard deviation. Since we have a built-in function, I'm directly calculating the standard deviation for the two, for both the values. So first I have to create the table. So click on the table. Name of the student. So I'm clearing you. Actually, they have asked you to take 2 livestock population for 50 different houses, or for your convenient, you can take any tutorial has been asked. So I'm taking the best is to take the student marks. That's all. So I'm not taken the 2 livestock population. Other than that, I'm taking the student marks as a data for here. So first I'm creating the table. To create the table, first name of the student, next subject 1 and subject 2. I'm taking 2 different subjects here. Okay. So in name of the student, I'm writing as student 1, student 2. Student 1. Let's subject. Randomly, I'm entering the values. Subject to values. So these are the two subjects marks. Okay. So for this, I have to calculate the standard deviation. So we have a built-in function to calculate the standard deviation here. So the built-in function is equal to standard std ev, and here you will have two options. One is dv.p and dev.s. S is for a sample that in this data set, if you're taking only few values and calculating the standard deviation, then we are going to take .s. If you're taking the complete values, then we are going to take .p, that is population. Click on it. For that, you have to select the data range. Select the data range from first to end. Close the bracket. Enter. Your standard deviation for the subject 1 is going to be appeared. So this is the standard deviation for subject 1. For subject 2, the same thing. We'll use the built-in function here. Is equal to standard deviation population stdeve dev.p. Double click on it. Select the second subject values. Click on it. Shift Control down arrow. Close the bracket. Enter. Student, that is standard deviation for subject 2. So they have asked you to find out the standard deviation for this particular subject. So I have calculated this by using the built-in function. Okay. So this is your 16th program. To calculate the standard deviation, you require a variance and all those. That has been asked in this previous next program, that is in 17th program. They have asked you to collect the data of two whalers crossing a busy junction in a locality in the peak hours and determine the variance of the data in Microsoft Excel spreadsheet for both, for the given data. So using that variance, afterwards you can calculate the standard deviation also, or you can directly use the built-in function called standard deviation, which I have shown here. So for the 16th program, I have directly determined the standard deviation for both the values. This is one set of values, data set value, and this is another set of data, subject 1 and subject 2. So now for the 17th program, I'll go into do it in the next sheet in the same workbook. So for that, I can click here at the bottom. Click here. You will get the next sheet. So in one workbook, we can have any number of sheets to be inserted. Like in Word, if you have number of pages is there, no? The same way in Excel also, in the same workbook, you can have any number of worksheets. To add worksheet at the bottom, you can see here, you have sheet 1, sheet 2, and next to that you have a plus mark. So if you go on clicking on this plus mark, you can have any number of sheets to be included in the same book. Okay. So to rename that, you can click on this right button. There you will get one option called rename. Click on that. Here I'll write this as program number 60. So next one is to calculate the program number 17. So I'm renaming it as program number 17. So here I can calculate the variance. To variance, they have asked you to collect the data of two-wheelers crossing a busy junction in your locality. So I'll enter here the junction name. First, I'm going to create the table. Junction name. Okay. So here I'll write it as J1, J1, J2, J3. They have asked you to take any value, any set of data set. I'm taking 20 as my data set. 20. Junction name. So number of people, number of vehicles, two-wheelers that have crossed this busy junction, I have written in number of and I counted and written it. So here I'm going to write the random values in different junctions. So 12, 15, 26, 42, 13, 5, 8, 60. Okay, so this is the number of two-wheelers who have crossed the junctions. For this, I have to create the variance, calculate the variance for this. So to determine the variance for this data, we have a built-in function. So the built-in function is equal to where dot p and dot s. Dot p is for the complete data set value and dot s is for one's few set of values. So I am taking complete data set of value. So I'm clicking on where p, double click on it, and the complete values. From the beginning to shift control enter, the complete value has been displayed. Control and press enter. So this is the variance for the given set of values, data. So this is the 17th program that has been asked for you. Determine the variance of the data in Microsoft spreadsheet. So you have a built-in function. I have used that built-in function. First, I have created the table. Based on the values, I have calculated the variance for this particular data set value. Okay. So now I'll go for the last program now. So the last program here is 18th program. I'm doing it in the next sheet of the same workbook. So I'm clicking on sheet 3. So here they have asked you to draw a squeeness and kurtosis graph for randomly generated data set. So here they've asked you to generate a random value. For that random value, you have to calculate a squeeness and kurtosis graph value. So to generate a random values, so we have a built-in function called random. Okay, how to generate that I'm going to tell you now. So this is the data value for which we are going to find out. Squeezes and kurtosis value. To generate a random value, you have a function called rand, R-A-N-D. Rand is going to generate only one value for the current cell. Now, if you want to generate values between some set of values, then you can select random between, click on random between. Here, you have to write the starting value and the end value. Within that, it is going to generate a random values. So I'm going to give it as 1 as the bottom value, comma 100. So within this, it is going to generate you a random value for you. So from between 1 to 100, one random value it has picked and it has entered as 80. Now I want to generate 20 values, means I'll drag this up to 20. So here 20 different random values have been generated between 1 to 100. So for this, I have to find out the squeeness and kurtosis graph. For this, I can go for a data analysis. Here, you have a built-in function called descriptive statistics. Click on this descriptive statistics and say OK. So when you're going to say, it will ask you for input range. So input range is from here to here, the data value what you have entered. And it is column wise that we are calculating, and you want the output to be displayed in this immediate column. So I'm selecting this column. Okay, and I want the summary of the statistics. So when I'm going to click on summary of the statistics, I'll get OK. So here you can see the complete value has been displayed for you. So here you can see it is calculating the mean, standard deviation. Mode is not available here as no value has been repeated here. Okay, median has been calculated here. Kurtosis and squeeness has been indicated. So if it is negative, that we can say that it is asymmetric frequency. If it is positive, if the values are almost all curve is same, then we can say that it is a symmetric. So since it is a negative, we can say that it is a negative, a graph that is going to be generated from here. Here range is also calculated, minimum, maximum, sum of the complete value, and the count is also displayed here. So 21 values have been available here. Okay, so this is the fourth last program of you to calculate the squeeness and kurtosis graph and determine whether it is a symmetric or asymmetric frequency. So seeing the values, we can say that it is a symmetric or asymmetric graph. So this covers your complete lab cycles with respect to Microsoft Excel. So in Microsoft Excel, totally 14 programs are there. So we have completed all the 14 programs here. And I have done in Microsoft Excel 2013 version.
Uh, Thank you, madam. Now, on participation request, now I request Tejaswini ma'am to conduct experiments in a lower version, that is on 2007, to conduct the experiments on this platform, madam.
Thank you. So I am going to start now. So based on the requisition, I have doing one few programs in lower version, that is Microsoft Excel 2007. So this is the screen. Whether screen share ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. So this is the screen you can see here. So I'll start from beginning. Here, go for new, Microsoft Office Excel worksheet. Click on worksheet. So this is the screen that you can view here. This is Microsoft Excel. This is Microsoft Excel 2007. Okay. So it is same as 2000 higher version like 2010, 13 or 16. But with certain indications are little bit icons are different. That's all. The steps whatever I have taught till now is almost same. No changes will be there. Only thing is the icons will be present in different location. That's all. So based on that, here first I'll tell you how to install data analysis tool. So click on this start button. Here you can see here Excel option has been enabled. Click on Excel option. Go to add in. Here you will get analysis tool pack. Click on that. At the bottom you will get manage go. So you click on it, you will get the tools for that. In this you will have to select analysis tool pack. Enable it and then say OK. Okay, so this is going to be installed. It is asking it, yes, it has been installing. Okay, now you can click on data. You can see at the end, you have the option called data analysis. So this is how you're going to enable the data analysis tool. Here also everything is same. These are going to be called as a column names represented in alphabets, and these are nothing but rows names represented in numbers. And this is the home menu, and this is the insert menu where you're going to insert the charts. This is the formula toolbox, data, data analysis, review, view. Everything is almost all same. Only thing is the icon or the menu bar that is going to appear will be different. For that, we'll just do a pie chart. That is program number 6. So in program number 6, they have asked you to plot the pie chart for the data collected from 50 peoples. So they have given the smokers as the number of smokers with respect to their ages. So first we have to create the table. I'll select the copy the table because I have limited time. So here you can see we have number of smokers, age. I'm selecting it 20. So here I'll enter it as. So first I have created the table. So number of smokers name and their age. For this, I have to create a class interval, and based on that I have to create the pie chart. So to create this, a shortest method is available here. That is through a pivot table we can create this. How to create a pivot table I'm explaining now. So first step is I have created the table, the data that is required to create a pie chart. After that, the next step, I'm going to insert a pivot table for this table. To insert it, you go to the insert. Here you have the option called pivot table, which is going to summarize the data and give you in a short answer. So click on that. It is going to ask you to select the input value or a table which you want to arrange. So my data is only about age of the smokers. So I'm clicking here. I'll select age of the smokers here. Here also, if you click on first data, shift control and press enter, the whole value is going to be selected. then you can go for new sheet or existing sheet. Existing means current sheet. Here you can click on the location for that. So I'm clicking the location here. Then I'm saying okay. So here you will get one PO table field list. Here, this is the column. Drag this column to the row label because I want it in a form of row labels, and I want the sum of this. I am dragging it, but actually I don't want the sum, but I want the count. To get the count, first I have to make it a group. So to make it a group, click on one column, any one of this row, right click, go to group. So if you go to grouping, it is going to get the minimum value and maximum value. So minimum is started from 16 and maximum is for 84. So I'm going to set the minimum as 10 and maximum as 90. And I'll take interval between one set, that is 15. So for 15, I have taken it. Here the sum has appeared. I don't want the sum, I want the count. How many I have come in, age belongs between 10 to 24 or 25 to 39 or 40 to 54 or 55 to 69. So I'll go for this. For that, what I have to do is click on this button, right button. Here you will get an option called summarize data by. There you select count, you will get the count. So here 10 to 24, 3 people are there. 25 to 39 age group, 2. 40 to 54, 6. 59 to 69, 1. And 70 to 84, 7 peoples are there. For this, I have to create a pie chart. So I'll select this column. I'll go to insert. Here you will have the pie chart. Click on the pie chart. Select one. Your pie chart is present here. Okay. So this is your pie chart that has been drawn for this. So this is the interval and this is the percentage. By default it will only take. So chart layouts are available here. Which is the chart layout which is convenient for you, or which is you feel that it is good, you can select that chart label. Okay, so these are the different chart labels available. Select that. Okay, so here for same as you were changing the chart title, here also you can change the chart title. Instead of total, you can click here and tell that it is a number of survive of on smokers with different age group. Okay, so this is the percentage that has been shown here, and this is the class interval that has been taken for that. So the age group from 10 to 24, 16% are there. The three, it has been calculated in a form of percentage and it has been displayed. So this is one example that I have shown in Excel 2007. Same procedures what I have done in 2016. Same steps are going to be there. Now for the same thing, if I want to calculate the standard deviation, what I am going to do is I am going to give the equation equals STD EV Here you have the option called standard deviation population. Double click on it, bracket, shift control, done, close the bracket, enter. So here you got the standard deviation. Almost all the formulas, built-in functions, everything is same. I hope you are now able to do all the 14 programs in Microsoft Excel. So if you have any doubts on this, you can have a clarification of it. How to conduct the lab exams, how to write the record. So kurtosis graph or squamous graph is nothing but what we have drawn in frequency, polygon and curve, what we have drawn, but we are not going to get a complete graph representation. By hand you have to represent it, and you have to check what is the result that has been got in our program is correct or not. We'll not get a complete curve representation as correct squamous or kurtosis graph is there. Squamous is going to say whether it is a negative side or a positive. Kurtosis will say the upper smoothness. So hand you have to calculate it, and based on that you have to check the result what we have got is correct or not. So I had told you we have going for insert option. In that you are going to click pivot table. Click on the pivot table. There you have to select the data value for which you wanted to create a pivot table. So this is the data set. Select that data values. Then you say OK. Your pivot table is going to be created. There I had while clicking, you can see here when I'm going to click a pivot table here. Here you will have two options. One is new worksheet or existing worksheet. You have to click existing worksheet if you want in the current sheet. Otherwise you have to click on new worksheet. So now I had clicked as new worksheet. So I got the pivot table in the new worksheet. Here you will be having the option called choose field to add to report. So this is the column which you want to arrange in the row wise. So select this, drag it into the row labels. And if you want the sum of it, drag it to the values. If you don't want to add row wise, if you want it in column wise, then you can drag it and place it in the column wise. So it will represent in this way. So in which way you want, whether it is in a column wise or in the row wise, you have to select that. You will get the pivot table field list menu bar, sub menu at the side. You can see there and you can drag and drop it where you feel convenient. Yes, we can draw. Some has that. Can we draw pie chart without pivot table? Yes, we can draw it. I showed you the easiest method. That's all of creating this class interval. You only create a class interval, find out the frequency, and you can draw the pie chart. There's no need. We should have a pivot table For your convenience or easy method, I have shown you the Piot table. Any doubts if you have, you can ask. Some has asked what a lab record for Python and MS Excel. In Python, you will be having a programs. So you will write the program in Python. For the lab cycle in Excel, you will write the steps, how to insert, how to draw the, how to insert the bar chart or create the class table. These are the steps that we are going to write in the record. Curtis's and Squeener's graph. Here we are just identifying whether it is a symmetric frequency or asymmetric frequency. To find out that, we are going to calculate Squeener's and Curtis's graph. Actually, we should have a complete curveness to be drawn, but complete curveness is not appeared in the Excel. For that, what we are doing, we are just calculating it. For calculation, select the go to the data analysis. In the data analysis, click on descriptive statistics, say OK, select the data range, select the value what you wanted to find out, click on it, then you click summary statistics. So when you click on summary statistics, it is going to give you the complete information about it. So what is the mean, what is the standard, median, as well as Curtis's and Squeener's of it. So Squeener's is positive here because we got the positive value here, and Curtis's is negative. The smoothness is broad. I hope it is useful for you now. I'll wind up this session now.